you've maybe come across some videos about keeping your greenhouse nice and warm using big barrels of water in your greenhouse and painting the barrel black, and then of course it's a thermal mass that will sit there and absorb heat all during the day and radiate it during the night to help keep that greenhouse warm. And there's many other methods, but I have come up with an idea that I wanted to try out this season. But instead of using big water barrels, I'm just going to use a large amount of potting soil soaked down pretty thoroughly. And when I say a large amount, it's enough to hopefully make a difference in my greenhouse. I'm not sure how much of a difference it'll make. But I do have those little Govee thermometers. I can keep track of the temperature change throughout the days and nights. They're just little Bluetooth thermometers that store temperature and humidity data. Anyhow, I got 10.5 cubic feet of potting soil, which I'm going to put into a big pile and soak down real thoroughly. And that's very dark color, so it'll absorb heat all day long and then radiate it during the night. So anyhow, we'll see. So I measured it before. I measured the temperature outside through a freeze outside my greenhouse compared to inside my greenhouse, and using the little Govee thermometers, and the temperature difference was a solid 8 degrees warmer inside the greenhouse. So it got down to like 25 degrees outside, and inside was a nice balmy 34 degrees. So that was without any of this extra soil thermal mass, a nice solid 8-degree difference. So I'm going to put the thermal mass in here and then wait until we get our next freeze and see how much of a temperature difference it makes. Not that it matters all that much for thermal mass that I know of, but I'm pretty pleased with the deal I got on this topsoil. It has a really nice consistency. You can look at how crumbly that is, and it's not made out of coconut coir. It's actually made out of wood byproducts primarily, and aged chicken manure, of course, I think that's the main fertility source. So I ended up getting like 7 bags of it, I think, for $50-something altogether with taxes. So that seemed like a pretty good deal, 10.5 cubic feet. So I'm just going to spread it underneath this high table that I got here, made from reclaimed, recycled lumber from my swimming pool deck. It's high enough that I can pile this soil up to a high level and get some nice direct sunlight through the plastic to warm this soil up. So I'm going to spread this out pretty good bit so that hopefully it can get maximum sunlight absorption. But I do have this basil over here, which I'm not particularly interested in killing. It's kind of nice to have fresh basil on the side through the middle of the winter. So it's going to cover up the stem here, but not cover up the entire plant. I'm going to soak this down, on this layer real thoroughly. And then add another bag and soak it down so that I'll have a huge soaked water soil heat sink. Nice and dark in color. So here's an interesting note to consider. It says the dry weight of this stuff is 28 pounds per bag, and the net weight, that's when it's wet, is 35. So that's solid 7 pounds of water weight, and it's not soaking, so probably soaking wet, it might be 10 pounds of water weight that each bag can hold, and then 10 pounds of water weight per 7 bags, that's a good 70 pounds of water. Then you have all the soil itself as a heat sink, separate from the water, and the soil itself may not hold heat as efficiently as water, but it still holds a lot of heat. When it dries out, it'll be releasing humidity into the greenhouse every day, and the humidity, of course, helps to keep freezes at bay. High humidity is just water in the air, which is going to keep the air from cooling down as rapidly. So the soil heat sink plus the water heat sink adds up to be hopefully enough to make a difference in the greenhouse. Let's see. squeeze some water out of the top layer, and it'll drain, of course. Nice to keep potting soil in the greenhouse, and it's very convenient underneath my main table that I use for potting up my seedlings, and I just reach under there and get the soil that I need. And I'm planning to mix this purchased soil with half and half with my homemade compost to hopefully give my seedlings an excellent boost to get them off to a good start. One last note, at 5 p.m. it's 60 degrees in the greenhouse air and 68 degrees in my soil mound. So the soil mound heater has begun. Alright, so with the dirt mound in place, the temperature difference is about 11 degrees warmer inside the greenhouse, as opposed to just 8 degrees warmer inside the greenhouse. So it seemed to make about a 3-degree difference with the dirt mound here as a heater during the night. Could be a world difference if you're trying to do tomato seedlings, right? Because tomato seedlings or pepper seedlings get below freezing, you know, even for an instant, it seems like they will get frost damage or freeze damage very, very, very quickly. So thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you like this video, and it would be much appreciated.